Hey everyone, and welcome. I am Natasha, your host for today. If you are new here, I'd like to let you know that we upload new English learning videos regularly to help you improve your English faster. In today's episode, you will not only practice your English listening skills, but you will also build your speaking and study skills. In this lesson, we're diving into an important topic that many learners struggle with: how to move from intermediate English to advanced English. We'll go step by step through a proper study plan, real-life practice examples, and exercises that will help you improve your fluency, comprehension, and confidence. Whether you want to speak more naturally, write more clearly, or understand fast English conversations, this video will give you the structure and guidance you need. By the end of our time together, you'll know exactly how to organize your learning, what daily habits will make you stronger, and how to practice effectively so you can finally reach that advanced level. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you'd like more English learning lessons just like this. So, take a deep breath, get ready to practice, and let's get started. So, let's begin this journey together. You are here because you want to improve your English. You are already at the intermediate level, which means you can understand many conversations. You can express yourself in different situations, and you can manage daily interactions in English. But deep down, you also feel that something is missing. Maybe your sentences don't sound as natural as you'd like. Maybe when you listen to a native speaker, you still get lost when they speak fast. Or maybe when you write, you feel unsure about grammar, vocabulary, and style. This is where we start today, moving from intermediate to advanced. I want you to imagine something. Think about yourself 6 months or 1 year from now. Imagine yourself speaking English with confidence, holding long conversations without pausing, expressing ideas clearly, reading articles or books without difficulty, and writing messages or essays that sound smooth and natural. That is the advanced stage of English, and it is possible for you. But the secret is not just learning more and more new words or memorizing grammar rules. The real secret is building a proper study plan and practicing in the right way, with consistency. First, let's talk about the biggest difference between an intermediate learner and an advanced learner. An intermediate learner often thinks in short phrases, translating from their native language, and sometimes struggling to find the right word. An advanced learner, on the other hand, thinks in English directly, uses phrases and expressions naturally, and understands the rhythm and flow of real conversations. So, our goal together is to train your brain to think, process, and express ideas in English smoothly, without hesitation. Let's try a small practice together right now. Imagine you just met a new colleague at work or university. They ask you, "How was your weekend?" At an intermediate level, you might answer with something short like, "It was good, I stayed at home." But at an advanced level, you would expand your answer naturally. You could say, "It was really relaxing. I finally had time to read a new book and cook something special. How about you? Did you do anything fun?" Do you notice the difference? The advanced answer is not just longer, but also warmer, more natural, and it keeps the conversation going. Now, I want you to practice with me. I will give you a question, and you should answer it out loud, as if you are speaking to me directly. The question is, what did you do yesterday? Don't just say, "I studied English." Try to add more details. Connect your ideas and make it sound natural. For example, yesterday was busy but productive. I studied English for an hour in the morning. Then I met a friend for coffee. And in the evening, I watched a movie in English to relax. Now it's your turn. Answer the question out loud with full sentences. This kind of exercise is very important because advanced English is not just about accuracy. It's about fluency, expression, and connection. The more you practice expanding your answers and connecting ideas, the closer you move to the advanced stage. Another key difference between intermediate and advanced learners is listening comprehension. At the intermediate level, you can understand slow or clear English. But when people speak quickly, use idioms, or mix formal and informal styles, it becomes difficult. Advanced learners can follow natural conversations, even when people speak fast. How do we build this skill? By practicing listening every day, with material that is just a little above your comfort level. Not too easy, not too difficult. Let's try another exercise together. I will give you a short piece of English speech, and your job is to listen, repeat, and then explain what you understood. Here it is. I was running late this morning, so I grabbed a quick coffee and took the bus instead of walking. Luckily, I still made it on time. Did you catch that? Now repeat it with me slowly. I was running late this morning, so I grabbed a quick coffee and took the bus instead of walking. Luckily, I still made it on time. Very good. Now, explain it in your own words. You can say something like, the person was late. They had coffee quickly, and they took the bus, but they still arrived on time. This exercise helps you train your listening and speaking at the same time. As you can see, advanced learning is not about big, complicated steps. It's about small, smart steps, done every single day. When you focus on building these habits, you begin to notice real progress. Another thing we should discuss is vocabulary. At the intermediate level, you know many words, but sometimes you repeat the same ones too often. For example, you might say good for everything. It was a good day. That is a good idea. She is a good friend. But at the advanced level, you use a wider range of vocabulary to sound more natural. Instead of good day, you could say wonderful day. Instead of good idea, you could say brilliant idea. Instead of good friend, you could say close friend or true friend. Let's practice this together. I will give you a simple sentence, and you will try to make it sound more advanced by replacing the word good. Ready? The sentence is, that was a good movie. Now change it. You could say, that was an amazing movie. Or, that was a fascinating movie. Now try with your own choice. When you practice vocabulary like this, you make your speech more colorful, more precise, and more interesting. Advanced learners know how to choose the right word for the right situation. Now let's talk about grammar. At the intermediate level, you already know basic tenses, like present, past, and future. But sometimes you still make mistakes, or you avoid using complex structures because they feel difficult. Advanced learners, however, use these structures naturally and correctly. For example, instead of saying, if I will have time, I will call you, an advanced learner will say, if I have time, I will call you. The meaning is the same, but the second sentence is correct and natural. Let's practice with a short grammar exercise. I will give you a sentence with a small mistake, and you have to correct it. Ready? The sentence is, she don't like to swim. Did you find the mistake? Yes, it should be. She doesn't like to swim. Another one. I am living here for 3 years. What's the correction? You should say, I have been living here for 3 years. These small corrections make a big difference because accuracy is an important part of advanced English. But remember, advanced English is not just about avoiding mistakes. It's also about using grammar to express more complex ideas. For example, instead of just saying, I like reading, you could say, I enjoy reading because it helps me relax and discover new perspectives. Do you see how the second sentence gives more detail and depth? That is what makes it sound advanced. Finally, let's talk about confidence. Many intermediate learners already know a lot of English, but they hesitate when speaking. They are afraid of making mistakes, or they think their accent is not good enough. But advanced learners understand that confidence is a skill, and it grows with practice. You don't have to sound perfect. You just have to keep speaking, keep trying, and keep learning from every conversation. So here's a final exercise. Imagine you are meeting a group of people for the first time. You want to reduce yourself confidently in advanced English. Instead of just saying, my name is Maria, I am from Spain, I am a student, try to expand it naturally. For example, hi, my name is Maria, I'm originally from Spain, and I'm currently studying international business. In my free time, I really enjoy hiking and learning new languages, and I'm excited to meet new people today. Do you hear the difference? The second version is more advanced because it is detailed, confident, and natural. Now create your own introduction with at least 3 sentences and say it out loud. Take a moment to practice. Don't just listen passively, speak with me, because this is how you will improve from intermediate to advanced. Now that we've built a foundation, let's go deeper into creating a proper study plan, one that will actually take you from intermediate to advanced. Many learners stay stuck at the intermediate stage because they don't have structure. They study randomly. One day they watch a YouTube video, another day they read an article, then they take a break for a week. Without consistency and balance, progress is very slow. But if you follow a structured plan, you will improve faster and more confidently. The first part of your study plan should always be listening practice. Why? Because listening is the key to understanding how English really sounds. It trains your ears. It teaches you rhythm and pronunciation, and it helps you learn vocabulary in context. You should listen every single day, even if only for 10 or 15 minutes. But don't just listen passively. Practice actively. That means repeating, shadowing, and summarizing what you hear. Let's try together right now. I'll give you a short piece of natural English, and your task is to shadow me. That means repeat right after I speak, almost at the same time. Ready? This week has been really busy, but I've managed to finish most of my tasks on time. Now you say it with me. Very good. Now try again. But focus on matching the rhythm of my voice, not just the words. This is how shadowing trains you to sound natural. After shadowing, the second step is summarizing. Take the same sentence and explain it in your own words. For example, you could say, "The person had a busy week, but they finished their work." Do you see how this combines listening, speaking, and comprehension at the same time? If you do this daily, your fluency will improve quickly. The second part of your study plan should be speaking practice. At the intermediate level, many learners understand a lot, but they don't practice speaking enough. That's why they stay stuck. To reach advanced, you must speak every day. Even if you don't have a partner, you can still practice by speaking to yourself. For example, describe your day out loud in English, explain your thoughts in English, or practice answering questions you might hear in daily life. Here's an exercise for you. Imagine you are preparing for an English exam, and the examiner asks, "Tell me about a place you enjoy visiting." Instead of giving a short answer like, "I enjoy the park, it is nice," try to expand it. You could say, "One of my favorite places to visit is the park near my home. I go there almost every weekend because it's peaceful and green. I usually take a book with me, or sometimes I meet a friend for a walk. It helps me relax and clear my mind." This answer is longer, more descriptive, and sounds more advanced. Now, pause and create your own answer to the same question out loud. The third part of your study plan is reading practice. Reading gives you exposure to advanced structures, phrases, and vocabulary that you might not hear in everyday conversation. You should read different types of texts, not just textbooks, but also articles, blogs, short stories, and even books. But the key is to read actively, not passively. That means underlining new words, noticing sentence structures, and asking yourself questions while reading. Let's do a reading practice exercise right now. I will read a short passage to you, and then I will ask you some questions. Here it is. Last night, Sarah attended a concert in the city. The band played for almost 2 hours, and the audience was full of energy. After the show, she went out for dinner with her friends before returning home. Now here are your questions. Where did Sarah go last night? How long did the band play? What did she do after the concert? Did you catch the answers? Yes. She went to a concert in the city. The band played for 2 hours, and she had dinner with friends. This is a simple example, but it shows how reading and comprehension go hand in hand. The fourth part of your study plan is writing practice. Writing forces you to organize your thoughts and use correct grammar. At the intermediate level, many learners write short and simple sentences. But at the advanced level, you should practice writing paragraphs, essays, or even journal entries with more detail. One simple way to practice is keeping an English diary. Every evening, write about your day in English. Don't just write what you did, but also write what you thought and how you felt. This will expand your vocabulary and help you connect ideas more naturally. Here's a small writing exercise for you. I want you to write 3 to 4 sentences about something you want to improve in your life. For example, I want to improve my time management. Sometimes I waste too much time on social media, so I want to create a daily schedule. I believe this will make me more productive and less stressed. Now it's your turn. Think about something in your own life and write about it in English. The fifth part of your study plan is review and reflection. Many learners forget this step. They keep learning new material, but they don't review what they already learned, so they forget it. To move from intermediate to advanced, you must review regularly. That means going back to your notes, repeating old vocabulary, listening again to old audios, and checking your progress. Reflection means asking yourself, what have I learned this week? What is still difficult? What should I focus on next? This helps you stay on track and avoid wasting time. Let's do a quick reflection exercise together. Close your eyes for a moment and think about your English learning in the past week. What did you do to practice? Did you listen to anything in English? Did you speak or write? Did you learn any new words? Now, ask yourself honestly, what is one thing you could do better next week? This kind of reflection is simple, but it keeps you improving step by step. Another important aspect of moving to advanced English is exposure to real-life English. Many learners stay in the student zone. They only study from books or lessons, but advanced learners step into the real zone. They expose themselves to English the way it is really used. That means watching movies, listening to podcasts, joining conversations, reading authentic texts. This kind of exposure shows you how English is used naturally, and it prepares you for real situations. Here's an exposure-based exercise for you. Choose your favorite TV show, movie, or YouTube channel in English. Watch just 5 minutes of it every day. First, watch with subtitles and notice new words. Then, watch again without subtitles and focus on understanding the flow. Finally, repeat 1 or 2 sentences exactly as you hear them. This combines listening, vocabulary, and pronunciation in one activity. Finally, remember that a study plan only works if you are consistent. You don't need to study for hours every day. Even 30 minutes of focused practice can make a big difference if you do it daily. The goal is to build habits, not just study randomly. When you follow a routine, English becomes part of your life, not just a subject you learn. So, to summarize our journey together, your study plan should include listening, speaking, reading, writing, review, and exposure to real-life English. Each part supports the others, and together they create balance. This balance is what moves you from intermediate to advanced. Now let's move forward and talk about daily life practice, because one of the best ways to move from intermediate to advanced is to connect English learning with your everyday routines. When you make English part of your real life, you don't just study it, you live it. And that's exactly what advanced learners do. They don't see English as a subject anymore. They see it as a tool they use to think, communicate, and explore the world. Think about your morning routine for a moment. At the intermediate level, you might know how to say simple things like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast. But to move toward advanced English, you should expand these sentences, add details, and use natural expressions. For example, instead of saying, I wake up, you can say, I usually wake up around 7, but today I overslept because I stayed up late watching a movie. Do you hear the difference? The second version is more detailed, natural, and advanced. Let's practice together. I'll guide you step by step. Say this with me. I usually wake up around 7. Good. Now expand it. I usually wake up around 7, but today I overslept. Excellent. Now add even more. I usually wake up around 7, but today I overslept because I stayed up late watching a movie. Very nice. This is how you take a Simple idea and make it advanced by adding reasons, details, and connections. Now let's talk about conversations during the day. Imagine you meet a friend and they ask, "How's your day going?" At the intermediate level, you might say, "It's fine" or "It's good." But an advanced learner gives a richer answer. For example, "It's been a pretty busy day so far. I had a meeting in the morning, and now I'm finishing some tasks before lunch. But overall, I feel productive." Do you notice how this sounds fuller and more natural? Here's your turn to practice. I'll ask you the question, "How's your day going?" Now answer it out loud in English with at least 3 connected sentences. Don't just say "fine." Add some details about what you did, what you're doing, or how you feel. This is how you stretch your English toward the advanced level. Another area where learners often struggle is describing experiences and feelings. At the intermediate level, you might only use basic adjectives like happy, sad, or tired. But advanced learners use a wider variety of expressions. Instead of happy, you could say excited, delighted, or thrilled. Instead of tired, you could say exhausted, drained, or worn out. Instead of sad, you might say disappointed, upset, or heartbroken, depending on the situation. Let's do a vocabulary practice together. I'll give you a basic word, and you will try to replace it with a stronger word. Ready? The word is happy. Replace it with another word. Maybe you said excited. Great. Or maybe delighted. Perfect. Now the word is tired. Replace it. Did you say exhausted? Excellent. This kind of practice will help you build a richer vocabulary and sound more advanced in daily conversations. Now let's practice describing an event. Imagine you went to a birthday party yesterday. At the intermediate level, you might say, "I went to a birthday party. It was good. I ate cake." But at the advanced level, you would expand it into something like, "Yesterday, I went to a friend's birthday party and it was really fun. There were about 20 people there, and we played games, ate delicious food, and laughed a lot. My favorite part was when we all sang together. It felt so warm and joyful." Do you see the difference? The advanced version paints a picture, uses more details, and expresses emotions. Here's your exercise now. Describe your last celebration in English. It could be a birthday, a holiday, or even a simple dinner with family. Try to make your description at least 3 to 4 sentences long, and use at least one emotional word like exciting, peaceful, or joyful. Say it out loud now, moving forward. Let's focus on listening to natural English in daily life contexts. One challenge for intermediate learners is understanding connected speech. That means when native speakers speak quickly and words blend together. For example, instead of clearly saying "I am going to," many people say "I'm gonna." Instead of "Did you eat yet?" they might say "Jeet yet?" At first this feels confusing, but advanced learners get used to it because they practice listening to real speech. Let's practice listening and repeating. I'll give you a natural sentence, and you try to repeat it with the same rhythm. Ready? "I'm gonna grab something to eat. Do you want to come?" Now repeat. Good. Did you notice going to became gonna and want to became wanna? This is how real English sounds in everyday life, and practicing it will help you move toward advanced comprehension. Now let's do another one. Did you eat yet? When spoken quickly, it sounds like "Jeet yet?" Repeat it with me. Great. These small listening exercises are important because advanced English is not just about vocabulary and grammar, but also about rhythm, pronunciation, and connected speech. Another powerful way to improve from intermediate to advanced is by practicing storytelling. Storytelling combines many skills at once: vocabulary, grammar, fluency, and emotion. And advanced speakers are often good storytellers. So let's practice together. I'll guide you through a short story and then ask you to create your own. Here's my story. Last weekend, I went hiking with a couple of friends. The weather was perfect, sunny but not too hot. We walked for almost 3 hours, and the view from the top of the hill was incredible. Afterward, we had lunch at a small cafe, and we were all so tired but also really happy. Now, it's your turn. Think of a simple story from your life, maybe a trip, a fun activity, or even just a walk in the park, and describe it in at least 3 sentences. Try to add details about what happened, how you felt, and what you saw. When you practice telling stories, you are not only improving your English, you are also training yourself to think in English for longer stretches of time. That's the real sign of moving toward advanced fluency. Finally, let's add one more layer: practicing questions. Many intermediate learners can answer questions, but they struggle to ask them naturally. At the advanced level, asking good questions is just as important as answering. For example, instead of just saying, "Where do you live?" you could say, "So, where do you live? Is it close to your workplace?" Instead of asking, "Do you like it?" you could say, "How do you feel about living there? Do you enjoy it?" These extra details make the questions sound more natural and advanced. Here's your exercise. I'll give you a basic question, and you will make it more advanced by adding detail. The basic question is, "What do you do?" Now expand it. You could say, "So, what do you do? Are you working right now, or are you studying?" Try your own version out loud. This kind of practice not only helps you sound more natural, but also keeps conversations flowing, which is one of the biggest signs of advanced English. Now let's shift our focus to grammar in action, because this is where many intermediate learners get stuck. You already know the main tenses: present, past, future, but sometimes you hesitate with complex structures, or you avoid them altogether because they feel uncomfortable. To move from intermediate to advanced, you need to use these structures naturally in your daily speech and writing. Let's begin with conditionals. At the intermediate level, learners usually know the first conditional. If it rains, I will stay home. But advanced learners use all conditionals flexibly. For example, if I had known about the meeting, I would have joined. Or, if I were you, I would try a different approach. These sentences allow you to express possibilities, regrets, and advice more clearly. Let's practice together. I'll give you a situation, and you create a conditional sentence out loud. The situation is, you didn't study for the test and you failed. You could say, if I had studied, I would have passed the test. Now your turn. Repeat it. And then make your own example. Very good. This kind of practice makes conditionals natural instead of difficult. Now let's talk about relative clauses. These help you make your sentences longer and more advanced. For example, instead of saying, I met a man, he is a doctor, you can say, I met a man who is a doctor. Instead of, I bought a book, it was interesting, you can say, I bought a book that was interesting. These small changes make your English smoother and more connected. Try this with me. Combine these two sentences. She lives in New York. She works as a designer. Did you say, she lives in New York where she works as a designer? Perfect. That's how advanced grammar makes your ideas flow naturally. Another important structure for advanced learners is reported speech. At the intermediate level, learners often just repeat exact words. She said, I am tired. But at the advanced level, you transform it naturally. She said that she was tired, or he told me he had finished the project. This is very common in conversations, news, and storytelling. Let's practice quickly. Direct speech. I will call you tomorrow, she said. Reported speech. She said that she would call me the next day. Try it out loud now. Excellent. Now, let's move to fluency drills. These are exercises that push you to think and speak faster without stopping. One great drill is the 1-minute talk. You choose a topic, set a timer for 1 minute, and speak non-stop about that topic. At first, it feels difficult, but with practice, you stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. Let's try a mini version right now. The topic is my favorite season of the year. Start speaking out loud and don't stop until you finish your thought. For example, my favorite season is spring because the weather is warm but not too hot. I enjoy walking outside and seeing the flowers bloom. It makes me feel positive and full of energy. Now you try with your own favorite season. Keep talking, even if you make mistakes. Another fluency drill is expanding sentences step by step. Start with a short sentence, then add more detail each time. For example, I went to the store. Expand it. I went to the store yesterday. Expand again. I went to the store yesterday to buy some vegetables. Expand again. I went to the store yesterday to buy some vegetables because I wanted to cook dinner for my family. Do you see how it grows naturally? This is how advanced learners build longer sentences without hesitation. Let's practice. Start with the short sentence. I watched a movie. Now expand it. I watched a movie last night. Expand again. I watched a movie last night with my best friend. Expand again. I watched a movie last night with my best friend, and we both really enjoyed it because it was funny and exciting. Great work. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. Another step toward advanced English is mastering connectors. Words like however, although, meanwhile, in addition, and as a result. These words help you connect ideas smoothly and sound more professional. For example, I wanted to go out. However, it started raining, so I stayed home. Or, I was tired. Nevertheless, I finished my work. Using connectors shows that you can build complex ideas, not just simple ones. Here's your connector exercise. I'll give you 2 simple sentences, and you connect them with a connector. Sentence 1. I was hungry. Sentence 2. I didn't eat lunch. You could say, I was hungry because I didn't eat lunch. Or, I was hungry, so I didn't eat lunch earlier. Or, although I was hungry, I didn't eat lunch until later. Now make your own version out loud. Perfect. Now let's bring this grammar and fluency together with a real-life conversation practice. Imagine you are meeting a colleague after work. I'll play both roles, and then you can repeat with your own answers. Colleague. Hey, how was your day? You. It was pretty busy, but I managed to finish everything on time. Colleague. That's good. Do you have any plans for the evening? You. I was thinking of going to the gym. Although I'm a little tired, I want to stay consistent with my routine. Colleague. That sounds great. I might just relax and watch a movie instead. Now it's your turn. Replay this conversation in your own words. Use connectors, expand your sentences, and make it sound natural. Finally, let's talk about mindset, because the truth is, grammar and vocabulary will only take you so far. What really pushes you from intermediate to advanced is confidence and practice. You need to accept that mistakes are part of the journey. Even advanced speakers make mistakes sometimes, but the difference is they keep speaking without fear. So here's a small mindset exercise. Say this sentence out loud with me. Mistakes help me grow. Say it again. Mistakes help me grow. And one more time. Mistakes help me grow, and every conversation makes me stronger. When you believe this, your learning becomes faster and more enjoyable. Now let's go deeper into advanced listening practice. Because listening is the foundation of real fluency. If you can't understand natural English, it becomes very difficult to respond confidently. At the intermediate stage, you understand when people speak slowly and clearly. But advanced English means you can follow natural conversations, TV shows, podcasts, and fast speech without getting lost. One of the main challenges is connected speech. Native speakers often link words together, reduce sounds, or even skip some sounds entirely. For example, what are you going to do becomes what you gonna do, or I don't know becomes I don't know. At first, these reductions sound strange, but advanced learners train their ears to recognize them. Let's do a practice together. I'll say a natural sentence, and you repeat it exactly as you hear it. Ready? What you gonna do this weekend? Now repeat. Did you hear how what are you going to became what you gonna? Good. Now another one. I don't know if I can make it tonight. Repeat that with me. Very nice. This type of listening and repeating exercise will help you get used to fast, natural English. Another step is listening for keywords instead of every word. Intermediate learners often get stuck because they try to understand every single word. But advanced learners focus on the most important words in a sentence, usually nouns, verbs, and adjectives, to get the meaning quickly. For example, if someone says, "So basically, after work, I had to rush to the supermarket because we were out of milk and bread, and then I realized I left my wallet at home." You don't need every word. You just need after work, rush supermarket, no milk and bread, wallet at home. From these key words, you understand the situation. Let's practice. Here's a sentence. Yesterday, I was late for class because the bus broke down on the way, so I had to walk for 20 minutes. The key words are yesterday, late for class, bus broke down, walk 20 minutes. Did you get that? Excellent. Now try to listen again and pick out just the key words yourself. Another powerful listening method is shadowing with emotion. Shadowing means repeating immediately after what you hear. But when you add emotion, you train not only your pronunciation, but also your tone, rhythm, and natural expression. For example, if the speaker sounds excited, you copy the excitement. If they sound tired, you copy the tired tone. This makes your English sound more advanced because you're not just copying words, you're copying the feeling behind them. Let's try this. I'll give you a short dialogue and I want you to shadow it with the same emotion. Speaker A. Guess what? I finally passed my driving test. Excited tone. Speaker B. Really? That's amazing. Congratulations. Happy, supportive tone. Speaker A. Thank you. I was so nervous, but it worked out in the end. Relieved tone. Now shadow this with me, using the same emotions. Excellent. This kind of practice makes your English alive, not robotic. Let's also focus on predictive listening, which means guessing what the speaker will say next. This is something advanced listeners do naturally. For example, if someone says, I went to the supermarket yesterday and I bought some, you already expect them to say food or groceries. This skill helps you follow conversations even when you miss a word. Here's an exercise. I'll start a sentence and you try to predict the next word. I was so tired yesterday that I went to bed. Did you predict early? Yes, that's the natural word. Another one. The weather was so hot that I needed to drink a lot of water, right? Perfect. Practicing predictive listening trains your brain to stay active while listening, which is what advanced learners do. Now let's combine listening with speaking in a practical drill. I'll describe a situation, and you repeat it, then explain it in your own words. Here's the situation. This morning, I overslept because my alarm didn't go off, so I had to rush to get ready, and I almost missed the bus. Repeat after me. Good. Now explain in your own words. Maybe you said, the person woke up late because the alarm didn't ring, and they almost missed the bus. Excellent. This builds both comprehension and fluency. Another advanced practice is listening to different accents. At the intermediate level, you might only understand one accent, maybe American or British. But at the advanced level, you should be comfortable with different accents from around the world. For example, English is spoken in Australia, Canada, India, South Africa, and many other places. The pronunciation may change, but the more you expose yourself, the easier it gets. Here's a simple exercise you can do on your own after this lesson. Pick a short video or podcast in a new accent, maybe Australian or British, and listen for 5 minutes. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on recognizing words and rhythm. Then, repeat 1 or 2 sentences out loud. Over time, this exposure will make you a more flexible and advanced listener. Now let's practice daily life conversations where listening plays a big role. Imagine you are ordering food at a restaurant. The waiter speaks quickly. Hi there, are you ready to order or do you need a few more minutes? At the intermediate level, you might only catch order and minutes, and you might panic. But at the advanced level, you recognize the whole sentence and answer naturally. I think I'm ready. I'll have the grilled chicken, please. Here's your turn. I'll play the waiter. Hi there, are you ready to order or do you need a few more minutes? Now answer in a full sentence. Great. That's exactly how you train for real conversations. Let's do one more. Imagine you're at a train station and someone says quickly, Excuse me, do you know if this train stops at Central? Did you catch it? Repeat it with me. Excuse me, do you know if this train stops at Central? Now, answer as if you know. Yes, it does stop at Central. Or, if you're not sure, sorry, I'm not sure about that. These small practice moments prepare you for real life. The last part of this section is about active daily listening habits. Don't wait for formal study sessions. Make English listening part of your day. Listen to music in English while walking. Play an English podcast while cooking. Watch a short news clip in English before bed. This way, English surrounds you, and your brain gets used to it naturally, the same way children learn. Now let's shift our focus to advanced speaking drills, because speaking is where most learners feel stuck. You might understand a lot, you might even read and write well, but when it comes to speaking, your brain sometimes freezes. This happens because you're still translating in your head, or you lack confidence in connecting sentences quickly. To move to advanced, we need to train your mouth and mind to work together smoothly and naturally. The first drill is thinking directly in English. At the intermediate level, learners often think in their native language and then translate. This slows down your response and makes you sound less fluent. Advanced learners think directly in English, even for simple things. Let's try this together. Look around you right now. Whatever you see, name it in English without translating. For example, window, chair, phone, book. Now make small sentences. The window is open. The chair looks comfortable. My phone is on the table. Keep doing this daily, and slowly your brain will switch to English mode automatically. The second drill is self-talk practice. Yes, talking to yourself in English. This may sound strange, but it is one of the most effective ways to improve fluency. For example, when you're cooking, describe what you're doing. I'm chopping onions now. I'm heating the pan. I'm adding some oil. Or when you're walking, the weather feels cool today. I can see a lot of cars on the street. I'm almost at the bus stop. These simple sentences keep your brain active in English all day long. Here's your exercise. Right now, describe what you did this morning, step by step. For example, I woke up early, I brushed my teeth, I had breakfast with eggs and toast, then I got ready for the day. Say it out loud now. Perfect. With practice, you'll be able to add more details and make your sentences longer. The third drill is role-play conversations. This is very powerful because it prepares you for real-life situations. Let's role-play together. Imagine you are at a job interview, and I'm the interviewer. Interviewer: So, can you tell me a little about yourself? You: Sure. My name is Natasha. I studied business management at university, and I've been working in customer service for the past 2 years. I enjoy helping people solve problems, and I'm excited about this opportunity to grow in your company. Do you hear how this answer is clear, professional, and confident? Now it's your turn. Answer the same question in your own words. Let's try another role play. Imagine you're at the airport. Agent: Can I see your passport, please? You: Yes, here it is. Agent: Where are you traveling today? You: I'm flying to London for a business trip. Agent: How long will you be staying? You: I'll be staying for 2 weeks, and I'll be attending a conference there. This type of role play prepares you for everyday situations, so you don't freeze when they happen in real life. Another drill that helps you think faster is the 5-second response game. The rule is simple. When you hear a question, you must answer within 5 seconds. No long pauses, no translating, Just say whatever comes to mind. For example, I'll ask, "What's your favorite food?" You should immediately answer, "Pizza." Or, "I love pasta because it's delicious." Don't wait. Don't overthink. This trains your brain to react quickly. Let's practice. I'll ask you some questions, and you answer right away. What's your favorite hobby? Answer now. What did you eat for breakfast today? Say it quickly. What are your plans for tomorrow? Respond immediately. Great. This is how you train speed and fluency. Now let's work on sentence connectors in speaking. At the intermediate level, learners often speak in short, simple sentences. I like reading. I read every day. It helps me relax. But advanced learners connect them smoothly. I like reading, and I try to read every day because it helps me relax. See how much more natural it sounds? Try this with me. Short version. I enjoy music. I listen every night. It makes me happy. Advanced version. I enjoy listening to music, and I listen almost every night because it makes me happy. Now make your own version out loud. Another useful drill is expanding answers. When someone asks you a question, don't just answer with one word. Give more details. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like traveling?" Don't just say yes. Instead say, "Yes, I really enjoy traveling because it allows me to experience new cultures and meet different people." This expansion shows fluency and confidence. Here's a practice question for you. Do you enjoy learning English? Don't just say yes. Try to expand it. Yes, I really enjoy learning English because it gives me opportunities to connect with people around the world and to improve myself every day. Now, create your own expanded answer. Finally, let's talk about intonation and rhythm. At the intermediate level, learners often sound flat when they speak, almost like reading from a textbook. But advanced learners use intonation. Their voice goes up and down naturally, which makes their speech sound alive. For example, say this sentence flatly. I had a really great time yesterday. Now say it with natural rhythm. I had a really great time yesterday. Do you hear the difference? Practicing intonation makes your English sound fluent and natural. Let's try together. Repeat this sentence with rising intonation. Are you coming with us? Good. Now this one with falling intonation. I don't think that's a good idea. Perfect. Intonation practice makes you sound more advanced and engaging. Now let's focus on vocabulary, because vocabulary is what gives richness, color, and power to your English. At the intermediate level, you already know hundreds, maybe thousands of words, but you often repeat the same basic ones again and again. Words like good, bad, big, small, happy, sad. These words work, but they don't make you sound advanced. To move up, you need variety, synonyms, idioms, and phrasal verbs that make your speech more natural and expressive. Let's start with synonyms. Instead of big, you can use huge, enormous, or massive. Instead of small, you can say tiny, minute, or compact. Instead of happy, you can use joyful, cheerful, or delighted. The key is to practice replacing basic words with richer alternatives. Here's your exercise. I'll give you a simple sentence, and you will make it more advanced by changing one word. The sentence is, She has a big house. Now upgrade it. She has a huge house, or she has an enormous house. Another sentence, it was a good day. Upgrade it. It was a wonderful day. Try making your own upgraded sentences out loud. Now let's move to idioms, because idioms are one of the clearest signs of advanced English. Idioms are expressions whose meaning is different from the words themselves. For example, it's raining cats and dogs means it's raining heavily. Break the ice means to make people feel comfortable. Hit the nail on the head means to describe something exactly right. Using idioms naturally makes you sound more advanced and more like a native speaker. Let's practice. Imagine your friend gave a perfect answer in class. Instead of saying, "You are correct," you can say, "Wow, you really hit the nail on the head." Try saying it out loud. Another one. Imagine you're meeting new people at a party. Instead of saying, "Let's start talking," you can say, "Let's break the ice." Repeat that. Perfect. Now phrasal verbs. These are verbs combined with prepositions or adverbs like pick up, give up, or run into. At the intermediate level, many learners avoid phrasal verbs because they feel confusing, but advanced learners use them all the time. For example, instead of saying, "I met my teacher unexpectedly," you can say, "I ran into my teacher." Instead of, "Please stop smoking," you can say, "Please give up smoking." Instead of, "I learned English when I was young," you can say, "I picked up English when I was young." Do you see how natural that sounds? Here's your practice. I'll give you a situation and you use a phrasal verb. Situation. You accidentally met your old friend yesterday. What would you say? I ran into my old friend yesterday. Good. Another one. You want to stop eating junk food. I'm trying to give up junk food. Excellent. Keep practicing these daily because they will push you closer to advanced fluency. Now let's bring vocabulary into daily conversations. Imagine you want to describe your day at work. At the intermediate level, you might say, "It was busy," but at the advanced level, you could say, "It was hectic. I barely had time to take a break." Instead of saying, "The meeting was good," you could say, "The meeting was productive, and we came up with some valuable ideas." Here's your exercise now. I'll give you a simple sentence and you expand it with richer vocabulary. The sentence is, "The food was good." You can say, "The food was delicious," or "The food was absolutely mouth-watering, especially the dessert." Now try your own version. Excellent. Another advanced technique is using collocations, words that naturally go together. For example, we say, "make a decision," not "do a decision." We say, "heavy rain," not "strong rain." We say, "fast food," not "quick food." Using collocations correctly makes you sound natural. Let's practice. I'll give you 2 words and you join them correctly. Word 1, decision. Do we say make a decision or do a decision? Yes, make a decision. Next word, rain. Do we say strong rain or heavy rain? Correct, heavy rain. Now one more, mistake. Do we say big mistake or large mistake? We say big mistake. Great. These little details make your English advanced. Let's also practice vocabulary for expressing opinions, because advanced learners express themselves clearly. Instead of saying, "I think it's good," you could say, "In my opinion, It's a brilliant idea. Instead of, I don't like it, you could say, I'm not really a fan of it. Or, it doesn't appeal to me. Here's your exercise. I'll ask you a question. What do you think about learning English online? Don't just say it's good, try. In my opinion, learning English online is very effective because it allows people to study at their own pace. Now make your own answer. Excellent. Finally, let's do a storytelling practice with advanced vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs together. I'll tell you a short story. Last weekend, I was supposed to meet a friend for lunch, but something came up at work, so I had to call it off. Luckily, we managed to catch up the next day, and we had a great time. We talked for hours and laughed a lot. It was just what I needed to recharge my batteries. Do you notice how I used something came up, call it off, catch up, and recharge my batteries? These are phrasal verbs and idioms that make the story more advanced. Now it's your turn. Tell a short story about your weekend, but try to use at least one idiom and one phrasal verb. Say it out loud now. This kind of vocabulary training is exactly what will move you from intermediate to advanced, because it makes your speech richer, more precise, and more natural. Now let's turn to writing, because advanced learners are not only fluent speakers and listeners, but also clear and confident writers. Writing forces you to slow down, organize your thoughts, and pay attention to details in grammar and vocabulary. Many intermediate learners only write short notes, text messages, or simple emails. But advanced learners can write longer texts like essays, reports, or even stories, with structure and flow. One of the first steps to improving your writing is learning to expand ideas into full paragraphs. At the intermediate level, you might write, I like traveling. I visited Paris last year. It was fun. But at the advanced level, you can expand this into something richer. I really enjoy traveling because it gives me the chance to experience new cultures and meet different people. Last year, I visited Paris, and it was one of the most exciting trips I've ever had. I loved exploring the city's history, tasting the food, and walking by the river at night. It was truly unforgettable. Do you see the difference? The advanced version flows naturally, connects ideas, and expresses emotions. Here's a practice for you. Take a simple idea. For example, I enjoy learning English. And expand it into a full paragraph with 3 or 4 sentences. You could write, I enjoy learning English because it allows me to connect with people from different countries. Every time I study, I feel that I am improving step by step. I also love discovering new words and expressions that I can use in real conversations. Learning English makes me feel more confident and motivated about the future. Now create your own expanded paragraph, out loud, or on paper. Another key skill for advanced writing is using formal language when needed. For example, in an email to a professor or at work, instead of writing, I want to ask you something, you could write, I would like to inquire about something. Instead of, can you help me? You could write, could you please assist me with this matter? These small changes make your writing more professional and advanced. Let's practice. Imagine you're writing to your teacher to ask for extra practice materials. At the intermediate level, you might write, Hi teacher, can you give me more practice? At the advanced level, you could write, Dear Professor, I hope this message finds you well. I was wondering if you could kindly provide me with additional practice materials to help me strengthen my skills. Thank you in advance for your support. Do you see how polished and respectful it sounds? Another important skill is using linking words to make your writing flow. Words like furthermore, in addition, however, on the other hand, and as a result. These connectors show relationships between your ideas and make your writing smooth. For example, I enjoy reading books in English because they help me learn new vocabulary. In addition, they improve my understanding of grammar and sentence structure. However, sometimes I find difficult words and I have to check the dictionary. This is how advanced writing connects ideas logically. Here's a connector practice exercise. I'll give you 2 short sentences, and you connect them. Sentences. I was tired. I finished my homework. You could write, I was tired. However, I finished my homework. Another one. I like learning English. It is useful for my career. You could write, I like learning English because it is useful for my career. Now create your own connected sentences. Let's also practice academic-style writing. This is useful for exams, essays, or professional work. At the intermediate level, learners might write something like, Technology is good. It helps people. But at the advanced level, you would write, Technology plays a vital role in modern society as it enhances communication, improves healthcare, and increases access to education. Despite its challenges, it continues to provide countless opportunities for human progress. This kind of sentence structure is what makes your writing advanced. Here's a short writing exercise. Write 2 to 3 sentences on the topic. The importance of learning English today. For example, learning English is essential in today's global world because it is the language of international communication. It provides access to better job opportunities, education, and cultural exchange. As a result, it has become a necessary skill for personal and professional success. Now try writing your own version. Another way to strengthen your writing is keeping a daily journal in English. Each evening, write about your day in at least 5 sentences. Don't just write what you did, but also include your feelings and thoughts. For example, today was very busy at work, but I managed to finish my tasks on time. I felt a little stressed in the morning, but later I relaxed after having lunch with a friend. Writing about my day helps me reflect on my progress and reminds me that I am improving. This habit will not only improve your writing, but also build your confidence. Now let's connect writing to speaking practice. After you write a short paragraph, read it out loud. This way, you practice pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency at the same time. For example, if you write about your weekend, don't just leave it on paper. Say it out loud as if you're telling someone the story. This makes the practice more powerful and helps you remember expressions better. Finally, remember that advanced writing is not about using difficult words all the time. It's about clarity, accuracy, and flow. A good advanced writer can express complex ideas in a clear and natural way. So don't try to make your writing complicated. Instead, focus on being precise and connected. Here's a final exercise. Imagine you are writing an email to apply for a volunteer position. At the intermediate level, you might write, "Hello, I want to be a volunteer. I like helping people." But at the advanced level, you could write, "Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to express my interest in the volunteer position. I am passionate about helping others, and I believe my skills and dedication would make me a valuable addition to your team. I would greatly appreciate the opportunity to contribute to your organization." Do you see how much more professional and advanced it sounds? Now let's move into real-life conversation practice, because this is where you can really show the difference between intermediate and advanced English. At the intermediate level, conversations are usually short and simple, but advanced conversations involve expressing opinions, agreeing and disagreeing politely, asking follow-up questions, and keeping the discussion flowing naturally. Let's begin with expressing opinions. At the intermediate level, you might just say, "I think it's good," or "I don't like it." But at the advanced level, you use a variety of expressions. For example, "In my opinion, this approach is very effective," or "From my perspective, it could be improved in some ways," or "Personally, I believe that practicing every day is the key to success." These phrases make your speech sound richer and more confident. Here's your exercise. I'll ask you a question, and you answer with an advanced opinion phrase. The question is, do you think watching movies is a good way to learn English? Instead of just saying, "Yes," try, "In my opinion, watching movies is one of the best ways to learn English because it exposes learners to natural speech and real-life situations." Now create your own full answer out loud. Now let's practice agreeing politely. At the intermediate level, learners often just say, "Yes, I agree." But at the advanced level, you can say, "That's a great point. I completely agree with you." Or, "I share the same opinion, and I think you explained it really well." Or, "Absolutely, I couldn't agree more." These expressions make you sound natural in discussions. Try this with me. Imagine your friend says, "I think reading books in English helps a lot." Instead of just, "Yes, I agree," try, "That's a great point. I completely agree because reading helps with vocabulary and grammar at the same time." Now say your own agreement sentence out loud. Sometimes, though, you need to disagree politely. At the intermediate level, people might just say, "No, you are wrong." But at the advanced level, you use softer language. "I see what you mean, but I think there's another way to look at it." Or, "I respect your opinion, though I personally feel a bit differently." Or, "That's interesting, but in my experience, it's not always the case." These phrases show respect and keep the conversation polite and advanced. Let's practice. Imagine your friend says, "It's not useful to practice speaking alone." You can answer, "I understand your point, but actually, I believe practicing alone is very helpful because it trains you to think in English." Now create your own polite disagreement out loud. Another advanced skill is asking follow-up questions to keep the conversation going. At the intermediate level, conversations often stop quickly. For example, A, "I went to the park." B, "That's nice." And then silence. But at the advanced level, you ask more. "That's nice. What did you do there?" Or, Oh, really? Was it crowded or peaceful? Or, do you usually go there alone or with friends? Asking questions shows interest and keeps the conversation alive. Let's try. I'll tell you something, and you ask me a follow-up question. I say, I went shopping yesterday. You could ask, oh, what did you buy? Or, was it for something special? Now try your own question out loud. Another way to practice advanced conversation is through mini debates. Debating doesn't mean fighting. It means discussing different opinions respectfully. For example, let's debate this question. Is online learning better than classroom learning? An intermediate learner might just say, online is good, or classroom is better. But an advanced learner will expand. Personally, I think online learning is more flexible because students can study anytime and anywhere. However, classroom learning allows for face-to-face interaction, which is also very valuable. In my view, combining both methods is the best solution. Do you hear how complete and balanced that sounds? Here's your debate exercise. I'll give you a topic, and you make a short, advanced statement. The topic is, should everyone learn English? You might say, I believe everyone should learn English because it opens doors to education and career opportunities. However, I also think people should value their native languages and cultures. Now give your own opinion. Let's also practice conversational fillers, which advanced speakers use to sound natural while thinking. Words like, well, actually, you know, I mean, honestly. These words give you a second to think while keeping the conversation flowing. For example, well, I'm not sure about that, but maybe we can try another way. Or, actually, I think it depends on the situation. These fillers make you sound fluent and confident. Here's your practice. I'll ask you a question, and you answer using at least one filler. Question: what's your favorite type of music? You could say, well, I usually listen to pop music, but honestly, I enjoy classical music when I need to relax. Now try your own version. Finally, let's role-play a real-life advanced discussion. Friend, I think learning English grammar is boring. I see why you might feel that way, but I think grammar can be interesting if we connect it to real-life examples. Friend, maybe, but vocabulary feels more useful to me. That's true. Vocabulary is essential, but grammar helps us use vocabulary correctly and express ourselves clearly. Don't you think both are important together? Did you notice how the conversation was polite, balanced, and advanced? Now try repeating this role play with your own words. Now, let's work on pronunciation and rhythm, because advanced English is not only about what you say, but how you say it. At the intermediate level, many learners pronounce words correctly in isolation, but when speaking fast, they lose rhythm, stress, and natural flow. Advanced learners, however, use stress and intonation to make their speech clear, natural, and engaging. The first element to focus on is word stress. In English, some syllables are stressed more strongly than others. For example, in the word important, we stress the second syllable, important. If you stress the wrong syllable, it sounds unnatural. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Computer. The stress is on the second syllable. Computer. Now, photograph. The stress is on the first syllable. Photograph. Good. Practicing word stress helps you sound more natural and easier to understand. The second element is sentence stress. In English, we don't stress every word equally. We stress the important words, usually nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. The smaller words like a, the, to, or and are unstressed. For example, I bought a new car yesterday. The stressed words are bought, new, and car. Try saying it with me. I bought a new car yesterday. Excellent. Here's your practice. I'll give you a sentence, and you stress the main words. The sentence is, she finished her homework before dinner. Which words are stressed? Yes. Finished, homework, and dinner. Now say it with me. She finished her homework before dinner. Perfect. Now let's talk about intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. At the intermediate level, many learners speak with a flat tone, which sounds robotic. Advanced learners use rising and falling intonation to show meaning and emotion. For example, when asking a yes-no question, your voice usually rises. Are you coming? When making a statement, your voice usually falls. I'm going home. Practice with me. Say, are you ready? With a rising tone. Good. Now say, yes, I'm ready. With a falling tone. Excellent. Now, let's practice emotion. Say, that's amazing. With excitement. Now say, I don't think so. With doubt. Do you hear how the emotion changes the sound? That's what makes your English advanced. Another important part is connected speech. English speakers often connect words together when speaking quickly. For example, I want to becomes I wanna. Going to becomes gonna. Did you becomes did ya. At the intermediate level, these forms are confusing, but advanced learners get used to them and even use them naturally. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I'm gonna call my friend later. Did you notice going to became gonna? Now another one. Did you see that movie? Say it naturally. Did you see that movie? Perfect. Now, let's do a short shadowing exercise with rhythm and stress. Listen and repeat with me, copying the exact rhythm. I was running late, so I grabbed a quick coffee and took the bus instead of walking. Say it again, matching the rhythm. Great. Shadowing is one of the best exercises to sound advanced because it trains your mouth to follow natural English rhythm. Next, let's practice minimal pairs, words that are different by only one sound, like ship and sheep. At the intermediate level, learners sometimes confuse these sounds, but advanced learners make them clearly. Repeat after me. Ship, sheep, bit, beat, full, fool. Excellent. Small differences like these make your speech clearer. Another drill is practicing sentence reductions. Native speakers often reduce sounds in fast speech. For example, instead of "What do you want to do?" they might say, "What do you want to do?" Instead of "I don't know," they might say, "I don't know." These reductions are not slang. They are normal in everyday English. Let's practice. Repeat after me. What do you want to do tonight? Good. Now, I don't know, maybe watch a movie. Perfect. Now let's combine everything into a real conversation practice. Friend. Hey, what you doing later? You. I'm gonna meet a friend for dinner, but I'm not sure where we'll go yet. Friend. Sounds fun. Did you already decide what time? You. Not yet. We're still figuring it out, but probably around 7. Do you hear how natural and connected this conversation sounds? That's the goal of advanced pronunciation and rhythm practice. Here's your task. Choose a simple daily conversation, like ordering food or making weekend plans. Say it out loud. But focus on stress, rhythm, and intonation. For example, can I get a cup of coffee, please? Or, I'd love to join you this weekend. By practicing daily conversations this way, your English will so unadvanced and natural. Finally, remember this. Advanced pronunciation is not about losing your accent completely. Your accent is part of your identity, and it's beautiful. The goal is clarity and confidence. If people can understand you easily, and you feel comfortable expressing yourself, then you have succeeded. So, let's finish this section with a confidence exercise. Say this sentence out loud with me. My voice is clear, my English is improving, and I am becoming fluent. Say it again with more confidence. And one more time, louder and prouder. My voice is clear, my English is improving, and I am becoming fluent. Excellent. Now let's focus on presentations and storytelling. Because advanced learners don't just answer questions, they can speak for a longer time, organize ideas, and hold people's attention. This is a skill you need for meetings, interviews, and even daily conversations. At the intermediate level, learners often give short, unorganized answers. For example, if asked to describe a project, they might say, I worked with my team. It was difficult. We finished it. But at the advanced level, you can turn this into a clear mini presentation. I worked on this project with a small team, and although it was challenging at first, we managed to organize our tasks and communicate effectively. As a result, we were able to finish the project successfully, and even ahead of the deadline. Do you see the difference? The advanced version flows naturally, connects ideas, and shows confidence. Here's a practice exercise. Imagine you are in a meeting, and your boss asks you to give a short update about your work. Instead of saying, I finished my report, try. This week, I finished writing my report on customer feedback. I included a detailed analysis of common issues, and I suggested some strategies that could improve customer satisfaction. I'll be happy to share the main points with you in detail later. Now create your own version of a short update and say it out loud. Now let's practice storytelling in a more advanced way. Storytelling is not just for children. It's a powerful tool for communication. It makes your speech more engaging and memorable. At the intermediate level, learners often tell stories in a list of events. I went to the park, I saw my friends, we played soccer. But at the advanced level, you add detail, emotion, and flow. Last Saturday, I went to the park, and it was a beautiful sunny day. I met some friends there, and we decided to play soccer. The game was exciting, and even though we were tired, we laughed a lot and enjoyed ourselves. Here's your exercise. Think of something simple that happened to you recently, maybe going shopping, visiting a friend, or watching a movie. Now tell that story in at least 4 sentences, adding details about what happened, how you felt, and why it was memorable. Speak it out loud now. Another important advanced skill is giving opinions in discussions or debates. In professional or academic settings, you often need to present your opinion clearly and respectfully. At the intermediate level, you might just say, "I think it's good," or "I don't like it." But at the advanced level, you can say, "In my opinion, this approach is effective because it saves time and resources. However, we should also consider the potential risks." This way, your opinion sounds more thoughtful and advanced. Let's try a debate style exercise together. The question is it better to study alone or in a group? At the advanced level, you could say, "Personally, I prefer studying in a group because it allows me to share ideas and learn from others. On the other hand, I also recognize that studying alone can be useful when I need to focus without distractions. In my view, a combination of both methods works best." Now try giving your own balanced opinion out loud. Now let's practice for job interviews, which are a real test of advanced English. In an interview, you are expected to answer questions with detail, structure, and confidence. For example, if asked, "Can you tell me about yourself?" An intermediate learner might say, "My name is Anna. I studied marketing. I worked in a company." But an advanced learner would say, "My name is Anna, and I graduated in marketing 2 years ago. Since then, I've been working at a digital agency where I manage social media campaigns and analyze customer engagement. I'm passionate about connecting with audiences online, and I'm excited to bring my experience to a new challenge." Here's a practice interview question for you. What are your strengths? Don't just say, "I am hardworking." Try, "One of my strengths is my ability to stay organized under pressure. For example, in my previous job, I managed several projects at the same time and was able to meet every deadline. I believe this skill will be valuable in any future position." Now create your own advanced answer out loud. Another real-life situation where advanced English is important is academic discussions. For example, in a classroom or university setting, you might be asked to give your opinion on a topic. At the intermediate level, you might just say, "Technology is good, it helps people." But at the advanced level, you could say, "Technology plays a crucial role in education today, as it allows students to access resources easily and connect with teachers and classmates online. However, it also creates challenges, such as distraction and over-reliance on digital tools. In my opinion, the key is balance." Here's your exercise. I'll give you a topic, and you try to create a 3-sentence advanced response. The topic is the importance of learning English. You might say, "Learning English is extremely important in today's globalized world because it connects people from different cultures. It provides opportunities for education, travel, and career development. I believe it is one of the most valuable skills a person can have today." Now give your own answer. Finally, let's practice a mini presentation together. Imagine you are asked to speak for 1 minute about healthy habits. At the intermediate level, you might just say, "Healthy habits are important, I eat vegetables. I exercise. But at the advanced level, you can say, healthy habits are essential for living a balanced life. Personally, I try to exercise at least 3 times a week because it helps me stay energetic. I also pay attention to my diet by eating more vegetables and drinking plenty of water. In addition, I make sure to get enough sleep because it keeps my mind clear. These habits may seem small, but together they make a big difference in my overall health. Now, pause and give your own mini presentation out loud. Practicing storytelling, opinions, and mini presentations regularly will not only improve your English, but also boost your confidence. You'll begin to sound not just like a student of English, but like a real communicator. Now let's focus on long-term study habits and motivation. Because reaching an advanced level in English is not just about learning techniques, it's about building a lifestyle of consistent practice. Many learners work hard for a few weeks, then stop when they get busy or lose motivation. But advanced learners find a way to keep English alive in their daily lives. No matter how busy they are, one of the most effective long-term habits is setting small daily goals. Instead of saying, I will study English for 3 hours every day, which is unrealistic for most people, choose something small and consistent. For example, I will read 1 page of an English book every night. Or, I will listen to 10 minutes of an English podcast every morning. Or, I will write 3 sentences in my journal before going to bed. These small goals are easy to follow, and over time, they build massive progress. Here's your first long-term practice exercise. Right now, choose 1 small goal for yourself. Maybe it's listening to English while you eat breakfast, or practicing shadowing for 5 minutes a day. Say your goal out loud in English. My daily English goal is... By saying it, you make it real. Another long-term habit is reviewing regularly. At the intermediate level, learners focus too much on new material and forget what they've already learned. But advanced learners know that review is the secret to memory. For example, if you learn 10 new words this week, review them tomorrow, then again after 3 days, then again after a week. This is called spaced repetition, and it's one of the most powerful ways to remember vocabulary and grammar long-term. Here's a review exercise. Think of 3 new words you've learned recently. Say them out loud now. Then make a sentence with each. For example, if you learned the word exhausted, you might say, I was exhausted after my workout. Do this regularly, and you'll never forget new words. The next long-term habit is mixing active and passive learning. Passive learning means listening to music, watching TV, or reading casually. Active learning means taking notes, repeating sentences, writing summaries, or practicing speaking. Many learners stay passive, but advanced learners balance both. For example, you might watch a movie in English, passive, but then write a short review of it in English, active. This combination makes your learning stronger. Here's an exercise to try this week. Watch a short video in English, maybe 5 minutes. Then, write 3 sentences about what you understood. Finally, read your sentences out loud. This simple routine gives you listening, writing, and speaking practice all in one. Another powerful habit is tracking your progress. At the intermediate level, learners often feel stuck because they don't see improvement day by day. But progress is happening. You just need to notice it. Advanced learners track their learning with journals, apps, or even recordings of their own voice. For example, once a month, record yourself speaking for 2 minutes about any topic. Then, after 3 months, listen again. You will notice your sentences are longer, your vocabulary is richer, and your confidence is stronger. Here's your motivation exercise. Right after this lesson, record yourself speaking about your day. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak for 2 minutes. Then set a reminder to do it again next month. When you listen later, you'll see how much you've improved. Now let's talk about motivation. Staying motivated is often the hardest part of language learning. At the intermediate level, excitement can fade because you already know enough to communicate, but not enough to feel fully fluent. This stage is sometimes called the intermediate plateau. To break through, you need reasons to keep going. Maybe your reason is career. You want a better job. Maybe it's personal. You want to connect with friends or family in English. Or maybe it's curiosity. You want to read books and watch shows in English without translation. Whatever your reason, remind yourself of it often. Here's a reflection exercise. Close your eyes and ask yourself, why do I want to reach advanced English? Say your reason out loud in English. For example, I want to improve my English because it will give me better opportunities in my career. Or, I want to reach advanced English so I can travel confidently and make friends around the world. Keep that reason close, and it will push you forward when you feel tired. Finally, let's end this journey together with a strong closing message. You started this lesson with the goal of moving from intermediate to advanced English. We have practiced listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, storytelling, and real-life conversations. We have built a proper study plan, explored long-term habits, and done exercises to make your English stronger. Step by step, you now have the tools you need to reach that advanced level. But remember, knowledge is only the beginning. The real change happens when you practice every single day. Even small steps, if done consistently, will bring you big results. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now, today. Use the exercises we practiced. Set your daily goal. And keep moving forward. Take a deep breath with me now. Say this sentence out loud with full confidence. I am moving toward advanced English every day. Say it again. I am moving toward advanced English every day. And one more time with energy. I am moving toward advanced English every day. Excellent. Congratulations. My friend, you have completed this advanced English journey with me today. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and remember, your success in English is not a question of if, but only a question of when. And the answer is simple. The more you practice, the faster you will get there. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, so you never miss another English lesson like this. I'll be here to guide you step by step on your journey to fluency. Thank you for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.